about that?
Ah,
Does that work?
yes, that's fantastic.
And you said
Of course it's yours.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And this
Thank
time
you,
we'll see you
Pristine.
again.
Be great.
We hope to get back before y'all are finished.
Happy
I'm sorry
doctor.
that you're missing out on readings from books from
Oh,
Antarctica.
don't you worry. Just
Sorry
go
you're
get the
missing
doctor.
out on these. These are,
You'll
I
be
should show
here.
off these cool
That'll be
photo
good.
books. This one is a photo book that I love some of these pictures in
You've gotta
because
go.
you've got shots of icebergs that are under the water. That was from a trip in 2017. Oh, he's wanting to take a picture with that, I think. Yeah, there were amazing shots and the amazing water reflection, how anything would just reflect so easily.
That'd be beautiful.
Just going through. It was just, I want to go jokingly say that's a gorgeous background picture for your, for your computer or something.
You could blow those up. And
Huge
have your-
murals on the wall, definitely. Well, anyway, that's what I was showing off because this was released because of Christmas in July. July 25th, and it's so stupid hot out here, right? So it seemed fitting to have pictures from Antarctica to be able to cool us off a little bit. I had to separate them into two different ones, one of just nature and wildlife photos that will never be seen again because everything shifts and moves with every avalanche and seasonal changes and temperature changes. And the wildlife was really awesome. So anyway, well, if you're still here, you can come back and check out the book.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. So, yeah, hi. I was thinking if that is all right with our lovely host, that I would read the Antarctica themed poems that are in the back of this book. There might be
Go for
3
it.
or 4 of them.
Full on.
Some may have heard these before, but these are from Antarctica Wildlife.
Yes.
As we've just heard, it was released on July 24th. Yay, Christmas in July. And you know what I'm going to do, Tom? I'm going to turn the flash off.
Oh, okay, really? Is it flashing?
Yeah, that's I had it set for something, and it's a flash button. No, it says no flash. Ta-da. So I'll deal with the noises it makes. I don't know why it's making noises.
Doesn't matter.
So these are poems from the Antarctica book. Now we know exactly how many photos you're taking. This first one, the first one that's in the book is very appropriate for this front cover, which is why I'm showing it this way. It's called Ocean's Call to Dive. The gentoo penguins run down the mountain to the rocky edge overlooking the Southern Ocean. They get in a single file line at the end. One jumps in, then another, and another, and then a dozen more. The last penguin in the line steps up to that edge after all the other penguins dove into the Southern Ocean. The last penguin rocks back and forth on his feet in place, turns around, looks at the mountain, turns around back toward the water, rocks once, steps in place twice, looks back again, and then turns toward the salt water, just dives in.
Sheila, you're all ready, Sheila.
Perfect in time for the announcement. This one, in honor of a show at the last special show at the Baha'i Center in Austin. The show was called Who, What, Where, When, Why, so this is a poem that is called Who, What, Where, When, Why. Who? British explorers, then others, looking for ways to expand. What? They traveled farther than anyone to discover a cold, remote land. Where? As far south as their ships would take them. When? Maybe about 2 centuries ago. Why? To discover new land and claim and more animals to slaughter for food and for oil. And in this unclaimed land, ships from different countries came. Ships from different countries. Okay, these were some of the ships that were from it, seriously. Ships, yeah, and they keep it there for people to see, who can actually get there to see it. And in this unclaimed land, ships from different countries came. It was bitter cold. Some died in their quest, but they thought they had found a natural treasure. Giant whales were everywhere. Just slaughter anything you can just to get into the whaling ships to extract the blubber for use for oil. And there are so many seals here, large animals that haven't learned to fear us yet. So with their impunity, dozens of species were almost completely decimated. What a treasure. Who? 12 countries, eventually more than 80, but I think some were just trying to stake their claim. What? They signed an agreement to make this one foreign continent exist maybe for only research, but only for peace. Where? At the Southern Pole, where the days last half a year and nights give us the aurora australis. When? Just over half a century ago, when we realized we had to save what we almost destroyed and let it thrive. Why? Because when humans come to a new place, the first thing we bring is battle. So, if we promise to leave it alone, maybe peace can really, truly exist somewhere on planet Earth. You're gonna step with the camera, that's quite alright.
I'm not here to photograph me, it's photographing you.
There's a thing that says photograph me, that probably means put the camera on.
Good.
Now you're learning. Now you're learning.
Slowly.
Slowly. Flash, no flash. Me, not me. This one, I thought of my friend from when I was little for this poem, when I was stuck at Rio Gayas Airport, called Underwater and Swimming.
Did you say 3 days in the airport?
No, hours in the night. No, we didn't stay the night there, no. No, Rio Gayas, no. It's called Underwater and Swimming.
Right.
Swimming with my best friend in a pool in the summertime, diving down to the deep end, flipping and springing up so high. Could never compare to seeing gentoo penguins, stocky birds, actually swimming like porpoises underwater, then springing up so high from the water, where we sat at the shoreline after watching the penguins dive in to the Southern Ocean's frigid salt water, grouped together, and then spring away. Like watching birds in flight, in formation, we'd watch 6 or 8 of these birds all spring up in the water together, like just a porpoise together, in sync. I think of my friend now, how we swam near the Great Lakes, south of the North Pole, and now, at the other side of the world, I see it's a part of a beautiful whole. I know you can't see it well, but I've got a shot. It's in the flinging more and going back down. It was so cool to see these things going. It was amazing. I never thought I'd be able to pull off that, seeing that.
Just follow each other?
They're just, we're just all going the same way, and off they leave. So yeah. This one is called On the Bridge. The captain invited us onto the bridge, and we cautiously walked and watched the majestic view from the front of the ship, searching for what was yet to be found. But lucky for us, crewmates saw it, the first humpback whales of the season. So the captain gently slowed the ship down just to try to glide alongside. And maybe the whales were as curious as we, because after a few minutes of gliding, 3 humpback whales came along beside, trying to see what we might be hiding. Our intentions were pure, but maybe they knew we'd never be truly alike. So they blew from their blowholes, curled with their fins, and with their tails, they turned the other way. Yes, it's true. We're not alike. They turned backwards while we moved ahead. But I think we both learned from each other, and we grew together in our final goodbye. I was honored to be on the bridge that day. I was honored they gave us that chance to commune with something so different from us that helps us, in a way, make us the same.
Mm-hmm. I remember that one.
I do have one longer one if you're willing to wait for the Visiting Pristine Places. It was the final piece in the show. It's all about everything in the world, including this place. Visiting Pristine Places on the planet. When I was young, the world was the size of a thimble, and all I needed was in my own backyard. But on my own, I was a dot in the universe, and that had to change. So after trying to climb one of the Alps wearing socks and sandals, I needed to go and rest at a nearby mountainside, spend 20 minutes in the radon-filled cave just to try to gain my strength back again. After reading Hitler's concentration camp gates in Dachau, Arbeit macht frei, I walked through those gates and thought, work will set you free. Yes. It's true. I know it. Because your choice and your drive is freedom. After singing an entire acoustic concert at a bar at Fairbanks, Alaska, we took off after midnight, added extra layers, and we stood outside in the cold to bask in the geomagnetic dance of the aurora borealis. After being stared at by men in India because I was a tall Western woman, not dressed like a Muslim, well, I had to go into their iron-filled, human feces-filled Bay of Bengal just to get my feet wet.
Okay.
It's very iron-rich deposits there, and their septic system is not like here.
No.
And when my husband went, I'm like, you gotta go get your feet wet. He's like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, you gotta go do it. Do it, do it, do it. And he's finally said, all right, I'll do it. And when I went there, I'm like, I told him to do it. I should do it. That was where that came from.
Just
like,
feet, right?
And of course, women are not. I'm so diverted from this. We're not supposed to show our legs or our shoulders, so I had my pants rolled up so I can get in the water.
Right.
And then a big water came, and then I got the bottom of my pants wet, but they just like loose, like pants. And then I walk over and I start trying to dry off my feet with the towel that I brought with me.
Yeah.
And an Indian man whom I am positive didn't know a lick of English just sat there next to me and stared at me and smiled.
Christy, your offer is ready, Christy.
And I thought, I'm like, drying my feet. I would say something like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't, this was too fascinating of a thing to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
They just decided to sit right down next to me.
Entertainment for the locals.
Yeah, I was entertainment for the locals. But now, let's get away from India, go somewhere else. After stepping up the gold-covered risers and palaces in China's Forbidden City, an older Chinese man asked me in his English where I was from. When I said Chicago, he joyously said, my kind of town. After I sang at the Great Wall of China, a group of Chinese people asked me to take a picture with them. But I don't think it was my singing, but the fact that I was at least a foot taller than absolutely everyone there. After buying a Balalika in St. Petersburg, I saw the alarming number of well-armed Russian guards at every street corner. And I thought, we may never be friends, but at times like this, we'll try to be friendly. After retracing Darwin's steps at the Galapagos Islands, I stopped near crisscrossed overlapping sea lions napping so that I could contemplate natural selection. After seeing the destroyed British ships from early whaling in Antarctica, I photographed the first humpbacked whales of the season, then took a picture with a Gen 2 penguin as I sat in the snow, and the penguin approached me.
Were they sailing ships, the British one?
There were a couple of ships that they left there so that people could see and for the remnants of stuff, yeah. And the one day when I was photographing penguins, they were all going down toward the water, and I said, I'm going to have to take my camera and turn around and do a thing with this thing in the background. And then somebody over there was like going, turn around. And I'm like, you idiot, I know, this is why I'm here. I had taken like 700 photos of they're all over the place, you know? Like I'm fully aware. And for the end of this poem, after this.
Customers Audrey and Christy, your offers are ready at the buy counter. Audrey and Christy.
When a man in the third poorest country in the world was asked why the poor locals seemed so happy, he explained, we may not have it all, but we can choose to be happy. And so we do. And with these words, I proudly choose life. I choose life for the orcas and the humpback whales, the chinstrap and Gen 2 penguins, the cormorants, the gulls and terns. I choose life for the giant petrels, storm petrels, finches, Nazca birds, even the sea lions and marine iguanas. I choose life for the Wyoming bison who passed me on the street. I choose life for the deer who approached us as we slept in the grass under stars. I choose life for all the mass-farmed animals mankind slaughters because they choose to consume violence and not peace. I choose life because all around the world, peace is the one thing we could all, always use. I'm done. I'm done. Antarctica bug. Somebody just showed up. Antarctica books. Because you
Laura,
need to have little.
Laura Malta, incredible poet, healer, part of the past and the future. And Janet Kuypers from Chicago, now deeply part of the Austin poetry scene.